So, welcome to HK Mastermind. More naam Karan Barua. Aji ami sabole jam human heart. So, human heart belongs to the chapter life processes, chapter 6 of class 10 NCERT syllabus. So, before going to the human heart, মই কবলৈ গৈছো এই ভিডিওটোত আপোনালোকে শিকিব human heart বস্তুটো হয় কি, human heart to function কেনেকা কৰে আৰু human heart to বেলেগ বেলেগ parts আৰু divisions কি হয়. So before we move on to the human heart, মই briefly আপোনালোকক কৈ দিছো what are life processes, because it as it belongs to the chapter life processes. So life processes meaning to মই সৰুকে বুজাই দিছো. So life processes meaning to হৈছে the processes which an organism maintains or does to maintain basic functions of life are called life process. Ta mane ami jiai thakibole ji ami process bur koro, metabolic process junkhini amar body to kore to maintain our life and basic functions ekini koy life process. So class 10 not life processes have been divided into 4 categories. Apnalok 4 categories dia hoise. Yat ase nutrition, that means khana khwa. Respiration, that means process of breathing. Tat bahut khini kiba kibi process thake that we will save it for another video. So now we are going to discuss about the human heart, which specifically falls under the category of transportation. So transportation of asat ahe excretion, which is removal of waste, harmful waste products. So transportation of tolat ahe human heart, and now we are going to see what exactly the human heart is. Okay, so right in front of you, you will see a label diagram, a detailed and a label diagram of the human heart. So first of all, ami jeta human heart to dekho, ami bhabu ki je bahut eta complicated organ hoy. Yes, it is definitely a complicated organ, one of the most, if not the most important organ of the body. Every organ is important, but then one of the most important organ of the body, without which we cannot even hope to live. So human heart hoy ki kam keneka kore. Now mon dibo, the heart transports blood to the rest of to the different parts of the body, right? So it is a pumping organ, it is a transportation organ. What is the heart? The heart is a pumping organ, it is a transportation organ. Briefly bujabo kole. So blood keneko transport hoy, so ami step by step hetu hikibole jam. So the first step is amar body jimankhini deoxygenated blood ase, from every part of the body deoxygenated blood jimankhini ase, first of ahibo from this inferior, I'll use blue ink to describe deoxygenated blood, from inferior vena cava and superior vena cava. Okay, first deoxygenated blood will come from the inferior and the superior vena cava. Now what is deoxygenated blood and oxygenated blood? Deoxygenated blood is the blood which carries carbon dioxide, juntu ichalage lungs ot goi kene oxygen pua nai. Whereas on the other hand, oxygenated blood is that blood which goes to the lungs, gets oxygenated and comes back to the heart and gets distributed to the rest of the body. Okay, now manuhe hude amar heart to divided kiyo hoy, 4ta chambers kiyo ase, eta duta tinta sarita chambers kiyo ase, because it is very important. Answer to hoise it is very important to prevent the mixing of deoxygenated blood with the oxygenated blood. So again, going back to the topic, now deoxygenated blood from the rest of the body will come from the inferior vena cava and the superior vena cava. So inferior vena cava, superior vena cava mane ki hoy, heartor tola jimankhini deoxygenated, jimankhini body parts pra deoxygenated blood ahe, that will come from the inferior vena cava, and heartor upor jimankhini organs ase নহলে body parts ase tar pra deoxygenated blood khini ahibo from the superior vena cava. It will enter, firstly it will enter the right atrium. Blue ink is for deoxygenated blood and red ink is for oxygenated blood. Blue ink is equal to deoxygenated blood and red oxygenated Okay. Now, the first chamber that the deoxygenated blood enters is the right atrium. Yapra ahibo, deoxygenated blood, yapra ahibo. Now, okay, so now after the contraction of the right atrium to jita enaka contract ho jay, then the deoxygenated blood flows through this valve. A to eta valve hoy. So A to eta valve or A to eta valve. A bilako koi bicuspid and tricuspid valve. So a valve to pra ahibo in this area. Number 2. This is the right ventricle. Now, right ventricle jeta deoxygenated blood ahibo. Hey, right ventricle to contract koribo. Ako enaka hesa mari dhoribo. So jeta hesa mari dhoribo, that deoxygenated blood again will go from this vessel. A vessel to pra jabo. Apnaloge dekhise na, a vessel to pra jabo to the lungs. E jabo, enaka jabo. Yeah. To the lungs. To get oxygenated. Our A vessel to ke koa hoy pulmonary, yet pulmonary trunk bole lekha ase, we call it pulmonary arteries. Okay? When likhi diso, pulmonary arteries. Yeah. So from the right ventricle, when the right ventricle contracts, the deoxygenated blood will go through the pulmonary artery to the lungs to get oxygenated. Ebar jitia lungs ot goi kene oxygen to pai gol, then again that now the blood is oxygenated. Now we are going to use the red ink. So after the blood is oxygenated, that same blood will come from this pulmonary veins. Yat lekha ase dekhsa na, pulmonary veins. Lungs opra eneka ahibo, lungs opra eneka oxygenated blood. O2 puli likhe ase tamne oxygenated blood. Eneka ahibo. It will come from this pulmonary veins and enter this area. Number 3. This is the left atrium or left auricle. Okay. So now the blood is oxygenated. So oxygenated blood enters the left atrium. Left atrium contract koribo. Contract kora pasot through this valve, it will enter the left ventricle. This is the 4th place. Oxygenated blood, O2. So this oxygenated blood has now entered the left ventricle. Left ventricle jitia enaka hesa mari dhoribo, contract koribo bostuto. So then this oxygenated blood will flow from this A to pranical lobe. From this is called the aorta. So yeah, it will go through this like this. Yeah, enaka hibo. Left ventricle opera aorta faleti, it will get distributed to the whole body. Whole body amar distribute hobo oxygenated blood through the aorta once the left ventricle contracts. Contracts mane hesa mari dhore jitia, pump kore jitia. Okay. So this is how deoxygenated and oxygenated blood are separated. A wall con is this wall is responsible for separating the right side of the heart and left side of the heart. This wall is called the septum. S-E-P-T-U-M, septum. Thanks to the septum, ami septum thank you kobo lage to, because he separate kori those oxygenated or deoxygenated blood too. Okay. So now the whole body is distributed with oxygenated blood. Now eta kotha apnaloke mon koribo, yat junjal je aorta ase, this is called the main artery of the body. Main artery. Ya kwa hai main artery. Vena cava, inferior vena cava and superior vena cava. This is the main vein of the body. Okay. Now what are veins and arteries? Transportation apnaloke jeta porhe, definitely you will get the term arteries, veins and capillaries. Hebur hoy ki. So now arteries, veins, capillaries, ebur sab blood vessels, ebur sab pipes. Just like you see this aorta, this is the main artery. superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, these are blood vessels. This is the main vein. So arteries are the blood vessels which carry blood away from the heart to the rest of the body. Itia for example, aorta, the main artery, it is after all an artery, right? So he ki kore, the oxygenated blood from the left ventricle enters through the aorta and goes to the rest of the body, to the rest of the body. Ta mane left heart opra blood to আঁতৰত গুচি গৈছে, that is an artery. blood to যেতিয়া হাৰ্টৰ পৰা rest of the body যায় হেতুক কওঁ আমি artery, মনত থাকিবনে? আৰু blood to যেতিয়া rest of the body আমাৰ body পৰা back to the heart আহে, then it is called a vein. এইখিনি চাও, এইটো চাও, inferior vena cava, superior vena cava, ইয়াক আমি কি নাম দিছো? main vein. so veins সবে কি কৰে? rest of the body পৰা blood to আহিব, it will come from the inferior vena cava and the superior vena cava back to the heart. So that is an artery, or that is a vein. Arteries are the blood vessels which carry blood away from the heart to the rest of the body, and veins are the blood vessels which carry blood back to the heart from rest of the body. Now there is a difference between, eta difference apnaloke paibol arteries and veins, sir. There is another difference. Arteries are supposed to be, are said to be much thicker in size compared to the veins. Mane arteries bur ola besike hokot thake. So heitu arteries hokot thokar karonto hoise je he blood to ventricle to jetia contract kore, pump kore, he blood to pressure, high pressure, under high pressure it goes to the rest of the body. So jete phati na jay high pressure, so aorta dal olop hokot thake. Aorta mane artery dal. আৰু veins বোৰ কি কৰে, তাহাতৰ ইমান বেছি প্ৰেছাৰ নাথাকে, তাহাতি they simply carry the blood back to the heart with a normal flow. So veins অলপ thin থাকে. Okay, now that is the difference between arteries and veins. So yes, that is how the human heart works. So etia ami hikilu, the heart is a pumping organ, it is a transportation organ, it keeps the deoxygenated blood and oxygenated blood separate. So in human beings and higher mammals it is very necessary to keep this thing deoxygenated and the oxygenated blood separate.